And a very good morning and good afternoon to our guests attending today's webinar, both in Australia and across the MENA region. Welcome to the second part of the MENA Connections 2020 series. This is an annual collaborative initiative now in its 8th year. And in 2020, for the first time, thanks to Corona, we are online. This webinar series has focused on 4 industry sectors so far. In October and November, we presented some very successful webinars on food and beverage, on education, and on healthcare. Today, we are very pleased to present the final webinar in the series, which focuses on a subject dear to my heart, mining and resources and industries in Saudi Arabia particularly and Egypt. And we'll discuss the recent regulatory changes and highlight opportunities from these markets for Australian companies. Before I digress, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself because this is a niche area and I think it's important that you are aware of the in-house technical expertise and knowledge that we have in the chamber. My name is James Harb. I'm your moderator today. I'm also the Vice President of the Australian Arab Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I'm the head of the Mining and Resources Subcommittee for the Chamber. I have a legal background for over 20 years practicing in the area of mineral commodities, resources, and international trade. For the last 10 years, I have been actively, personally, and commercially involved in the mining and resources sector in Australia. I'm the founder of an iron ore and gold explorer called Australian Metals Group Limited, which discovered one of the highest grades of iron ore in Australia some years ago. In the last 5 years, I've led a number of Australian sub-delegations and business missions to the MENA region, focusing on mining and resources, both including the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, as well as Egypt, Oman, and Morocco. In recent times, I've represented the Chamber at high-level meetings in Australia with Arab mining delegations from Saudi Arabia and Morocco. And I'm passionate about the opportunities that we'll hear about today for reciprocal investment and transfer of mining technology, know-how, and services from Australia to the MENA region. Without further ado, and that's enough about me, our distinguished guest today, I would like to acknowledge, firstly, His Excellency, Mr. Saleh Al-Aqili, who joins us from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Welcome, Your Excellency. I would like to acknowledge and welcome Mr. His Excellency Dr. Ayman Murshidi, Under Secretary for the Egyptian Minister for Petroleum and Mineral Resources. Ahlan wa sahlan, Doctor.
Welcome.
We welcome Mr. Martin Ferreira, who is a Trade Commissioner representing our government department from Austrade. Martin is the lead for Austrade, covering Africa, the Middle East, mining and resources sector. And of course, our very own in-house geologist and rock lover, our Peter Grant, who is our National Board member and the Chairman of the West Australian chapter. Today's webinar program, and I welcome all participants today, will include presentations from our distinguished guests from Saudi Arabia and Egypt, and also from Austrade and AlAqili. And during this early time, you might see, particularly those participants, a few questions roll over on your screen, which I can see right now. Please take some time during this time to fill in those questions, as it will enable us as AlAqili to serve you better, to understand your capabilities, and to also further connect you with the right opportunities in the MENA region. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker. A dear friend, Peter Grant is the AlAqili National Board Director and Chairman of the West Australian chapter of AlAqili. He'll be speaking on AlAqili's role in promoting trade and services across the MENA region, and will be covering an overview of the resources landscape in Saudi Arabia and Egypt. A little bit about Peter before he starts. He holds a Bachelor of Science with Honours in Geology from Nottingham University and has over 40 years experience in global exploration. He has worked in seismic exploration with British Gas before moving to Australia to work for BHP Petroleum in 1982, where he worked for 13 years in Australia, Africa, the Middle East, as an exploration manager and country manager in Dubai and Yemen. He joined Woodside Energy Limited in 1995 in Perth and led Woodside's international expansion from 1998 to 2013. He left Woodside in 2013 to form his advisory company, International Energy Solutions, and currently provides exploration, commercial, political, and business development advice to oil and gas and mining companies and governments. His skill base includes all facets of exploration and development, risk assessment, geological and political, strategy and portfolio management, and commercial analysis. Peter, it's my pleasure to welcome you. Please take the floor.
James, many thanks for those kind introduction. Distinguished speakers and ladies and gentlemen attending this seminar, you're more than welcome, and thank you for tuning in. I'll provide you with a brief introduction to ACI and then specifically in its relationship to this seminar of Egypt and Saudi Arabia. ACI is the peak industry body and the preeminent chamber of commerce that promotes the bilateral business relations and trade between the Arab countries of the Middle East and North Africa, which we call MENA for abbreviation, and Australia. We do this in a number of ways, and it's usually by providing member services. And these member services include advocacy, relevant meetings and information sharing. We also have documentation certificates, which are for the export of goods to the MENA region. We're certified to do that. And we also provide cultural understanding and advice and cultural training. So we cover a whole gambit of things that we like to think puts us in a good position to service our members and their requirements in the Middle East. To do that, we have also forged lasting relationships with our key sister chambers in the Middle East, backed up by several key MOUs. And we have a strong and enduring relationship with the key government bodies of Australia, such as DFAT, with all the high commissioners and the ambassadors in the region, the Department of Trade and Industry, and Austrade. So we work with a lot of these different groups, and our specific states use their own offices that they have scattered around the region as well. And so we make use of those. Our own one, we have a very seasoned and well-respected campaigner in UAE, Pankaj Sabara, the WA. The testimony of these special relationships that we have forged can be seen in the quality of the speakers that we have in today's MENA Connections seminar on mining and resources. Last year, ACI organized a trade mission to the MENA region, and we had the honor of meeting with members of the resource sector and several of the countries in the region, including the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Egypt. So today's seminar will reinforce the key messages that we received during those visits. Both countries are actively seeking to secure new investment in their own resource sector, and specifically in the mineral exploration and exploitation game. Egypt has a long and ancient history in mining, but of late, investment in this sector has reduced, and there's a need to rejuvenate this industry. So I'm looking forward to hearing from Dr. Ayman on what opportunities there are, and I'm sure he will mention specifically the Australian company that we have over there at present who's exploring for gold. Saudi, on the other hand, has only recently established their new mining law and mineral codes to attract investment in this sector and to provide diversification from their successful oil and gas sector. So the opportunities there are likely to be numerous. They're likely to be first cab off the rank in that there has been little exploration for minerals in the past. And so success, while not being guaranteed, you will have the opportunity for investing in potential large mines. As we all know, Australia is a global leader in the mining sector. We have large and small companies investing in most countries and regions in the world and across the whole gambit of mineral resources. We also advise on mining law and codes and have some of the best mineral service companies in the world that provide assistance from exploration all the way through to exploitation of minerals and ultimately to mine rehabilitation. We hope that this seminar, you'll see the business opportunities that are emerging, both for equity investments into Egypt and Saudi as operators or joint venture partners looking and exploring for minerals, or possibly, and more importantly, to provide services to this industry, either directly or through joint ventures with local businesses. When I was there last year, there was a very large appetite for the local businesses in both Egypt and Saudi Arabia to work with mineral service companies in joint ventures. And that was something that I hope we will be able to learn more from during the seminar. Should you decide that you wish to invest in here, ACI would like to help you. And there's plenty of information on our website about how our organization can help you establishing yourself in these respective countries, or just giving you advice on how you can work in these countries from both a commercial and a cultural perspective. And both of those are very important. Also, should you wish to visit Saudi Arabia following this seminar, one of the things that we can do as ACI is also provide you with assistance in securing a visa for entry into the kingdom. All these details are on our website. So I look forward to hearing from our distinguished speakers, and I'll hand you back to our moderator, James. My sincere thanks, James.
Thank you, Peter, for that insightful overview. Our next speaker is Mr. Martin Ferreira. Martin is a trade commissioner who leads Africa, the Middle East, the mining resources sector lead. He'll be speaking on an overview of mining and resources sector capabilities and expertise in Australia, and will also discuss the footprint of Austrade's services and assistance to potential companies from Australia. Martin has a strong sectoral expertise in resources and energy. As Senior Trade Advisor in Austrade's Resources and Energy team, he promoted Australian capability and expertise across the mining equipment, technologies and services sector. He has a thorough understanding of the internationalization of businesses, coupled with a solid academic background on the subject. Martin has an MBA from Charles Sturt University, a postgraduate diploma in linguistics from Australian Catholic University, and an international marketing diploma, as well as having studied law in Córdoba, Argentina. Bienvenido, Martin.
Gracias. Thank you. Thank you very much, James, for the kind introduction, and thank you to ACI for the work in promoting, Australian and Middle East trade and investment business opportunities, and also for the opportunity to speak today. Certainly, some of the remarks done by my colleague Peter Grant in terms of what the Australian industry is about resonate very well with us, as well as some of the remarks in terms of what Saudi and Turkey, in this case, these two jurisdictions, as well as the opportunities these jurisdictions are presenting, for Australian companies in the sector to help develop the industries in such destinations. So it is indeed a very interesting time for us in the region. So I would like to start thanking everyone this afternoon for attending this webinar. I would like to welcome all mining organizations and specialists attending this event, and also would like to extend a very special greeting to His Excellency Mr. Saleh Al-Aqili and His Excellency Dr. Aman Morshedi, and of course Peter Grant. Thank you all. All right. In terms of my brief remarks for today, I'll make three remarks across three key points. The first is about the first point I'm going to make is to provide a bit of context, just to for everyone to. When we talk about developing business opportunity in a new jurisdiction, we need to add the current situation we are all experiencing in terms of COVID. So I'll make a few remarks on that. Then I'll talk a bit about of Australian expertise in the sector and where we can contribute in these two jurisdictions. And finally, a couple of comments in regards to our team in the region and how we could help Australian companies and local business to develop. So in terms of COVID, we know that COVID had caused global trade and investment to plummet. Okay, so in terms of global trade is likely to drop this year by 10%. Foreign direct investment globally is likely to plummet to 40%. Okay, these are significant numbers. The pandemic has broken supply chains, has caused us to rethink how we produce goods, we deliver services and interact with our partners. And the key here is that despite all this confronting global environment, Australian miners and the Australian sector have been resilient. So Australian miners have managed risk and continue to operate under very, very challenging conditions. After all, Australian miners do understand the management of risk and harsh conditions. As we know, the Australian mining sector operates in some of the most remote and harsh conditions found anywhere in the world. We have developed and perfected technologies, the safety, sustainability, supply chain needed to cope with these tough conditions. Australia has strong presence in planning, development, delivery of a wide range of world-leading mining equipment, technologies, and services. They designed to ensure that mines remain productive, achieve high environmental standards, and contribute to a sustainable economic development. Our MED, in short, as we call our mining equipment, technologies, and service providers are world-leading. We know that. In fact, many organizations, so some of the organizations that are attending here today, a lot of these men and women are sitting perhaps in consoles, remotely operating huge driverless truck in mines, 1,000 kilometers away. I'm in Perth at the moment. The Pilbara region is 1,300 k's from Perth. So just to give you a sense of the distance of what technology enables today in terms of how to operate some key aspects of a mine operations. Our miners are engaged in intelligent mining. They apply this Industry 4.0 concept and use data to create productivity and cost efficiency to collaborate and improve experiences for employers and the outcome for customers at the end of the day. Australia, in this sense, is at the forefront of technologies that are setting global standards. By 2030, here in Australia, the planning is for all new iron ore mines to operate fully automated with state-of-the-art IT systems, sensors, data analytics, connected work technologies such as virtual reality headset, you name it. So that's the state of development of the Australian industry today. So this is very exciting for us. And sorry, my computer just went on silent. So this is very exciting of us. So given the significance of the sector here in Australia and the maturity of our technology, if we look at the stage of development, industry development in these two economies in discussion today, Turkey and Saudi, we understand that our technology and service providers are very well positioned to facilitate and support industry development in both countries. I always mention my position in the region is I'm responsible for Africa and the Middle East. We all know the stage of development in the African region in terms of mining, but just to give you a sense of the Australian footprint across the Middle East and Africa region. So to date, we have over 170 Australian METs operating across the region. There are some new markets coming online in terms of economies looking at seriously developing their industries, in this case, the mineral resources sector, such as Turkey, such as Saudi, in which our companies, whether they're based in Australia or whether they're already having a presence in the sector, will be able to support and participate in the industry development. So just keep that in mind, because Australia has a leading position across the region as far as our METS companies are concerned. We are well aware of the initiative taken by all producing countries. The key word here is diversification, to develop and explore the mineral resources. A case in point, as my colleague Peter just mentioned, a case in point is Saudi. We understand Saudi has an ambitious plan to rise the value of its mining operation to reach 70 billion US under the 2030 vision and create over 100,000 jobs. That's a monumental task. Australian capability and expertise can support that development, with best-in-class training, best-in-class processing, mineral processing technologies, equipment, and proven expertise to develop, more importantly, mineral-based manufacturing. Okay. In Turkey, on the other hand, the mining industry, it is our understanding, the mining industry has a dramatic growth. Still, it's in its infancy. So it's over 40% of Turkey is a prospective area. It's not even explored yet. So there is a major opportunity here for Australia to participate and help develop the industry there. Also, in terms of Turkey, we know that the environmental issues related to mining and industrial applications are becoming quite an important issue. The key term here is sustainability. And as we know, Australia is at the forefront of global pursuit of sustainable mining, recognizing two things: the environmental accountability, social responsibility, and the impact on the commercial success of those operations. Those three terms are inseparable. So moving forward, the Australian government and my team in the region, are willing to support not only local governments across the region, but also Australian mining companies seeking to participate of this industry development. So the Australian government maintains a strong diplomatic presence in both Turkey and Saudi, and we have in-market specialists in both Turkey and Saudi. So please do not hesitate to reach out if you feel we can support your entry to the market or help you develop those industries locally. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Martin, for that comprehensive discussion of Australian capacity and capability. And I have to say, we're warmly encouraged by the partnership that we as ACCI have with Austrade. And for those participants listening, please tap into the capabilities and expertise that actually exist through your government, through the auspices of Austrade, but also through the partnership with ACCI. There is a load of expertise there, and we can connect you with the right people for these wonderful and growing opportunities in the MENA region. I'm just mindful of time, but it is my profound pleasure now to introduce to you our next speaker, His Excellency Mr. Saleh Al-Aqili from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He's a distinguished man of eminence and a friend of the chamber. And Your Excellency, I'm so pleased to see you once again. And we're particularly delighted in the interest and passion that you took at the IMARC conference last year in Melbourne, and the wonderful and fruitful discussions that we had about regulatory impact, regulatory regimes and capacity and so on, and reciprocal investment between Australia and Saudi Arabia. His Excellency will be giving a short presentation, and following that there'll be a short video on the mining sector in Saudi Arabia. His presentation will cover an overview of mining and resources sectors in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia under the Vision 2030. Can I just highlight His Excellency's biography? His Excellency is the appointed Deputy Minister of Mining Investment and Development Unit, housed under the Ministry of Industry and Mineral Resources. His Excellency oversees the development and promotion of the mining and investment opportunities for Saudi Arabia's mining sector. He first joined the ministry in 2015 as an advisor to the Minister to work on the development of the Kingdom's mining sector and its overall mineral strategy. He directed the revision of the Saudi mining law to support the cultivation of the mining sector and increasing mineral resource exploration. Mr. Al-Aqili's strategic plans are in pursuit of transforming the mining sector to the third contributing pillar for the Saudi economy. He possesses a very strong background in the field of oil exploration and gas production and has held various positions at Saudi Aramco in senior and technical roles. These roles range from design, project management, commissioning, and operations. Most notably, he has served in the National Industrial Clusters Development Program and as Director of the Solar Energy Industry Cluster, the Home Appliances Industry Cluster, and later as Vice President for the Solar Energy Industry Cluster. There he was also responsible for developing multiple solar industries within this dynamic space. His Excellency holds a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering from King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia. Would you please join me in welcoming the Honourable His Excellency Mr. Saleh Al-Aqili. Tfaddal.
Thank you, James, for the introduction. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for welcoming us to this important webinar to discuss the recent development in transforming Saudi Arabia's growing mining sector. It has been a while since my last participation in MENA Connections webinar. Last time we were just finalizing our mining strategy, and if I remember right, I gave an overview of the broader goals of our strategy and the main initiatives that we believe that will transform this sector. Over the past 6 months, we have seen tremendous interest in our mining sector and its promising potential, especially since we launched several key mining strategy initiatives. Last October, the Kingdom launched the Regional Geological Survey Program. It's an ambitious and wide-ranging exploration program that will continue over the next 6 years to provide us with even more detailed information on the mineral landscape in Saudi Arabia. The Regional Geological Survey Program, or we call it RGB, is one of the world's largest geological survey in such limited time frame. It sits to cover over 600,000 square kilometers and analyze over 100,000 rock samples through extensive airborne geophysical survey, multi-element geochemical survey, and detailed geological mapping. The good news is that we have already started harvesting brand new data that's being added to our National Geological Database, which already houses over 80 years of geological data and will continue to expand as the RGB progresses. Of course, the discovery of new mineral deposits across Arabian Shield is one of our main priorities. And we know the value that exploration programs can bring, as we have noted most recently in Australia. In August this year, the Australian Exploring for the Future Geological Survey Program discovered mineral deposits in the Northern Territories that shares the same characteristics as the Ernest Henry mine, one of the largest copper and gold operation on the entire continent. It's inspiring to see how the mining industry can greatly benefit a nation, both economically and at a community level, especially in countries such as Saudi Arabia and Australia that has a large section of undeveloped land. The way in which Australia has developed its mining sector mirrors our own as we continue to invest in catalyzing thriving Saudi mining industry. Yet this is no coincidence. The Saudi Geological Survey, who act as the primary champion of our exploration program, has always looked to other successful countries for inspiration. Our mining sector has always had a successful record of building effective international partnership, and we are committed to ensure that our borders will always be open to investors and geological experts from across the globe. The RGB is a testament to this, as we're currently working with partners from China, United Kingdom, Finland, and South Africa, to ensure that our exploration of mineral landscape is conducted at the highest standards. The program is vital because it's a key element of our comprehensive mining and mining industry strategy, and the National Industrial Development and Logistic Program, which goes by the acronym NIDLIP. Both the strategy and NIDLIP aim to develop the Saudi mining sector into the third pillar of our industrial sector, along with the petroleum and petrochemicals. To that end, we will continue to upgrade our systems and processes across the board, from digitization of mining license applications to a complete overhaul of our mining legislation. We recently announced comprehensive revision of our regulatory environment, and after benchmarking our draft legislation against global best practices, we have developed the new mining investment law, which will be activated in just a few weeks, around the beginning of January 2021. This means that we will have mining regulations and legislation that can stand alongside the best in the world, and potential investors in the sector will have greater access than ever before. We have also launched a new website platform called Ta'deen, which will be soon the single point of access for information seekers and mining license applicants. These initiatives are just some among many we have launched to improve sector governance, increase transparency, to streamline application procedures, and to enhance the overall investor journey. We believe that through the transformation of the mining sector and sharing the data we are harvesting, we will help the kingdom to unlock the $1.3 trillion worth of untapped mineral wealth. The future development of these discoveries will boost the Saudi mining sector to triple its contribution, as James just mentioned, to around $70 billion of contribution, and generate hundreds of thousands of jobs for the new generation of Saudis. As you can see, the vision of our mining industry is integral to our continued growth, and we hope you will join us in this journey. I'll leave you now with a short video that will give a quick glimpse on the mining opportunities potential in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you.
And its people. And to lay the foundation for further developments, the Regional Geological Survey Program was designed as a key foundation initiative in the development of the Saudi mining sector. Under the National Industry Development and Logistics Program and the Saudi Mining Strategy, the program is carried out by the Saudi Geological Survey, with highly experienced world-class international technical partners and geological survey consultants from around the globe. In this ambitious and promising program, some 500 Saudi geologists and scientists will work side by side with international experts to expand and enrich their knowledge and their country's geological data, and fulfill their nation's goals. The Regional Geological Survey Program will cover approximately 600,000 square kilometers of the mineral-rich Arabian Shield in Saudi Arabia, a world-class challenge in terms of time and size. The key goal of the Regional Geological Survey Program is to capture high-quality and reliable geoscience survey data that will be the input to geological, hydrological, and geotechnical studies of Saudi Arabia that can in turn support the kingdom's mineral exploration programs and provide promising investment opportunities for national and international investors alike. To those ends, the program delivers across 3 core areas. 1. Advanced Airborne Geophysical Survey. 2. Multi-Element Geochemical Survey. 3. Detailed Geological Mapping. The high-resolution airborne geophysical survey uses a variety of state-of-the-art technologies to capture survey data, including magnetic radiometric and radiometric, and later advanced targeted gravity gradiometric and satellite hyperspectral imagery. The Airborne Geophysical Survey will continue for 6 years and will be implemented across 3 phases, starting with the radio and magnetic survey view of the Arabian Shield, before focusing on more targeted areas with advanced technologies such as gravity and electromagnetic. The survey will capture and interpret geophysical data, creating various digital geophysical maps and delineating rock formations, allowing us to produce essential mineralization zone maps of the Arabian Shield, which will be beneficial for decades to come. The Multi-Elements Geochemical Survey will utilize cutting-edge chemical analysis instrumentation to analyze some 110,000 samples taken from a 541,000 square kilometer area of the Arabian Shield to obtain geochemical data about the rocks of the Arabian Shield, create digital geochemical maps at various scales, and store data in the National Geological Database, with 76 elements for stream sediment and 65 elements for heavy minerals concentration, with the aim of discovering and charting all traces of metals and other elements in the Arabian Shield area. The gathered geochemical data will add an input dimension on environmental geology research in general, directly contributing to mineral exploration. The aim of the detailed geological mapping is to construct a high-scale, detailed systematic digital geological maps of most of the Arabian Shield to explore and determine mineralized and mineral exploration zones that will capture all geophysical, geochemical, satellite remote sourcing prospect, and current geological information in one map for interested scientists and explorer to explore. Geological mapping is an intensely complex process, requiring highly experienced and extremely knowledgeable mappers across a number of key disciplines. The entire mapping project will roll out over 2 phases, covering nearly 600,000 square kilometers of the Arabian Shield. However, all of this hard work will result in maps of the Arabian Shield that are far more detailed, accurate, and useful than any map that has been produced in the kingdom before. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's mining strategy has always been an ambitious one. Its core economic messaging is clear. By 2030, the mining sector aims to be the 3rd pillar of the country's industry, and the exceptionally detailed Regional Geological Survey program will be the foundation to turn this goal into a reality. Together, with the team at Saudi Geological Survey and our technical partners from around the world, we are proud to take this next step forward towards greater prosperity for the kingdom and its people.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for that graphic illustration of the wonderful potential in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I know there's an old saying that we hear is, "My people perish because they lack vision." And there's certainly such an abundance of vision in the leadership of Saudi Arabia, in the leadership and in the Vision 2030 plan that it seeks to diversify to such a potentially lucrative and rich and complementary sector, not only for the region, but also for the entire world. We look forward to working with you. I've just received a note. I do apologize, Martin. Martin wants to make a comment. So,
yes,
Martin,
thank you,
go ahead.
James. I have to apologize. I mixed my notes there just to only that many webinars and digital meetings we are attending. I made the wrong reference. I should have referenced Egypt. So my apologies to Dr. Ayman Morshedi for my mistake. So it's been really my mistake for making the wrong reference. And again, my apologies.
Thank you. I'm sure those apologies are accepted. I'll accept them on your behalf, Doctor. Thank you, Martin. Gracias. Now that turns us to His Excellency Dr. Ayman Morshedi. We're very, very privileged to have Dr. Ayman. Dr. Ayman, as I've said previously, is the Undersecretary for the Egyptian Minister for Petroleum and Mineral Resources. Dr. Ayman will be speaking and giving us an overview of the regulatory environment and investment climate in Egypt for mining and mineral resources, and also opportunities for Australian mining and mining equipment, technology and services companies. Dr. Ayman holds a PhD in geoscience. He has a master's degree in geophysics and a bachelor's degree in geology. So hence, Peter, you're right to pick up all those rocks behind Dr. Ayman. We now understand his keen passion and interest. Dr. Ayman has over 25 years experience in the field of gas and petroleum exploration and mining. He worked with international companies such as ExxonMobil, Noble Energy, Shell, Total, BP, ENI and Edison. He has worked with regard to exploration agreements, research, petroleum extraction and mining with Centamin, B2Gold, Forbes, Manhattan, La Mancha and Barrick. He has followed up on operations projects and exploration programs in the mining and petroleum field, while supervising short and long-term production plans to develop and increase production. Dr. Ayman also has been involved in monitoring the mineral resources sector, issuing mining licenses. And yes, Doctor, we would like some mining licenses. Thank you very much. Inspecting mining activities and preparing data for international bid rounds. I now take great pleasure after welcoming His Excellency Dr. Ayman Morshedi, and he will speak shortly after we view a short video on the mining sector in Egypt. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. If that completes the video, please please proceed with your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Thank you. First, I want to send my greeting to my colleague or my brother Saleh Al-Aqili, because that's his presentation very impressive, and is very impressive future plan for Saudi Arabia, and I wish a good for them. Thank you. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Martin. First, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all the organizers and stakeholders for making this conference take place despite the global restriction of COVID-19 pandemic. On this regard, I am also honored to transfer to you the deepest regards from His Excellency Engineer Tarek Al-Molla, the Egyptian Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources, for putting the development of Egyptian mineral resources sector on today's agenda. We would also like to thank Australian Trade and Investment Commission and Australia Arab Chamber of Commerce and Industry for inviting us to this important webinar. Historically, Egypt is well known for being rich in mineral resources since the early ages of ancient Egyptians. However, in modern days, mining industry in Egypt has suffered to overcome many challenges that led to inability in keeping pace with global development in this important industry. For example, Egyptian mining sector currently is not following a certain world standard work procedures, which constituted an obstacle to the optimal exploitation of these resources. Therefore, His Excellency Engineer Tarek Al-Molla, Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources, has adopted a promising comprehensive reform program to develop the restructuring the national mineral resources sector. This reform is focusing to legislative, economic, digital and technological transformation, all within the framework of Egypt's Sustainable Development Vision 2030, with a special focus on the effective utilization of the natural resources to help increase country economic growth. Accordingly, we as the Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources are providing the full support for these development plans. We are willing to increase the contribution of the mining sector in GDP by 5% within the upcoming 5 years. This cannot happen without promising action plan to develop and modernize this vital sector. And to be frank, this is why we are speaking with you today, looking to set up a partnership to modernize Egyptian mining sector to unlock Egypt's natural resources potential. As we see before in the videos, there is a lot of potential in Egypt from all mineral resources we have it in Egypt, gold, copper, all mineral resources we have it and have a huge potential in Egypt. I will be happy to share with you the board features of this plan. We have a basic pillars of the roadmap to achieve our target, which are follows. First one, legalization reform based on royalty and taxes model instead of production sharing to attract more international investment to meet the investor need, taking into account the interest of the state. Second, enhancement of bidding procedure, extend the announcement regularly in the whole year. Now it's already we started the new bid round from 6 months ago. We closed in middle of September. Now we are under evaluations. I think we will announce it soon. But after we awarded the blocks, we will open again for same areas or same blocks. The preliminary indication show a great success to such modification as the last bidding round that we have now resulted in attracting more international companies than before, specialized in the field of exploration and exploitation of the gold. Offers are currently under evaluation and the winners will be announced soon. Training and the capacity building of human working in the mineral resources sector now as started phase 1 and phase 2 in the capacity building. Digitizing and digital transformation on all activities of mines, quarry, salt pans. By the way, we started digitizing all data library we have it in Egypt now. We try to build now new data repository in Egypt, platform or hub for all information of mineral resources. And it is worthy to mention here that Egypt has announced in June 2020 a commercial discovery of gold in Jabal Iqat in the Eastern Desert with reserves estimated by more than 1 million ounces, with an estimated investment over the next 10 years of more than $1 billion. In addition to that, the continued production from Sukkari company, Santamin partners since March 2010 until September 30, 2020, produced almost 150 tons of gold and silver with values about $6 billion. Soon we are about to announce the global bidding round number 2, year 2020, to explore for and exploitation industrial minerals such as iron, copper, lead, zinc, tin, phosphate, kaolin, glass sand, feldspar, potassium, and the clay of Nasser Lake. Accordingly, we are targeting a variety of investors, not only in exploration, but also in every possible area of cooperation and partnership in mining. industry. Due to has a high quality of minerals, we have to, in addition to the strategic location of Egypt that ease transportation and the logistics. And of course, the recent investment in incentives in Egypt that the government provide to encourage, attract more international players to the Egyptian market. In this regard, it is worthy to mention that we are targeting in the short term, collaborate with investor in number of mining sector projects. For instance, exploitation of Maghara coal, about 52 million tons of geological reserve, establishing gold refinery with international aggregation, establishing world standard iron factories complex in Aswan. Moreover, many other investment opportunities can be discussed with interested Australian side. At the end of my speech, I would like to express my appreciation to the Australian Trade and Investment Commission for inviting to us to this event and discuss possible cooperation and investment in Egypt mineral resources sector.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ayman, for that very comprehensive presentation. And I must say from our participants in the Australian mining industry, they would take great heart and encouragement in seeing that the law has changed towards a rent and royalty model, which we are very accustomed to here in Australia. It now brings me to question time. Martin, is it, I'm not sure if you're hearing me, but is it okay, because we're slightly over time, to extend that question time for 10 minutes? Hello?
Of course.
That's fine, okay. For those participants who have questions, we have a number of directed questions which I have before me today, which I'll be asking our distinguished speakers. If you have any questions, please feel free to send them through and we can respond to them after the webinar, either through the chat facility or otherwise contact the Chamber or Austrade. I have a number of questions to be directed to His Excellency, Mr. Saleh Al-Aqili, if I may, Your Excellency. The first question that's come through Austrade here, and I'll ask them in a different order, but data, it says, data is a good entry point, but what else is being done to attract investors in the mining field to Saudi Arabia? Sorry, there's some background noise there.
Yes, can you
please go ahead, Your Excellency. The question, Your Excellency, is data is a good entry point, but what else is being done by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia?
Okay. Saudi mining is a relatively young industry, and we have already worked with foreign and local investors. Together, invested over $40 billion in the past years. To build a full value chain in the kingdom that only happened in the last 10 years. Significant new infrastructure has been developed that allows our investors to be part of a massive, globally competitive Saudi aluminum industry and Saudi phosphate industry, which is among the global top 3 exporter of fertilizers today.
Yes.
In other words, we have spent a lot of time learning with what investors need, and we have developed what we believe as a competitive advantage over the mining region. First, as you have witnessed today, we have we are working to further delineate the estimated $1.3 trillion of untapped Saudi minerals, so that we can help de-risk exploration for new investors. We have improved the ease of doing business in the mining sector with increased transparency, clearer regulations, digitization, streamlined application, and improved economics through incentives. We have also comprehensively revised the mining investment law and its implementation regulation. digital format are being developed right now. All of this will be fully operational by January 2021 to provide robust and practical framework for the development of the mining sector and support those who are interested in investing in it. On demand side, the Kingdom is the world's 4th largest importer of mining sector products. So local markets are hungry for the mining sector products. All of this is an offer to potential investors. So we are ready to welcome them and encourage them to contact us so we can work this together.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Dr. Ayman, sorry, we're getting a lot of sound and verbiage echo through your under your name, perhaps from your office. I'm not sure if you can mention that to your staff. But, a further question.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, I apologize. I have a further question for you, Dr. Saleh, and then I'll follow with some questions for you, Dr. Ayman. Mr. Saleh, the other question that we have here is, will the resulting data that you gather only be used by government for internal strategic and policy development purposes, or will it be made available to foreign companies? And if so, under what circumstances?
Well, the data will, of course, help inform the future mining policy decisions and our ongoing strategic planning.
Yes.
But the key purpose of the regional geological survey is to stimulate new investments. That's why we are committed to the transparent and timely sharing of the data with investors, both existing investors and potential new investors. As the RGB progresses, data will be posted on our digital platform as soon as it becomes available. We expect some initial data could be viewed as early as a few months from now.
That's excellent. That's extremely exciting. Thank you, Your Excellency. I'll now turn to Dr. Ayman for a number of questions that are posited to you. The first question is, where do you currently see the immediate opportunities for Australian companies within the mining sector in Egypt?
So already a lot of opportunity in Australian company can work together in Egypt. There's a lot of ore deposit in Egypt potential. We have it in Egypt. We're talking about mineral like copper, like gold. Yes, there is opportunity in Egypt. That's first. Second, technology. Transfer technology is very important for us. Already we try to build a new regime in Egypt now with standard code, with the high technology. So we seeking now for a company for drilling now. Already a lot of drilling coming after the announcement for the bid round of gold. Now we forecasting many companies, at least 10 to 12 company will drill within the next 2 years. So drilling company is very important for us. GVs or cooperation with Egyptian side and Australian side in this very important for us. We try to upgrading our laboratory in Egypt now, and we are seeking now for GVs joint venture relationship with a foreign company to build a new laboratory in Egypt to have make a complete cycle in Egypt now, because already that's very important for exhibition company also. A lot of opportunity, as I told before in my speech, in coal also in Fahm al-Maghara, Maghara coal is very important for us. Transfer technology is very important. Training is very important for us. Drilling is very important for us. Exploration company in gold and copper very important for us. It's but any opportunity is between us as Australian side and the Egyptian side is it's two parts. The G2G, it's the government to government is a very important cooperation, and the investors also.
Shukran, Doctor. Thank you very much. I'm sure that our participants, particularly in the mining and technology services, would be interested to hear about the opportunities on the technology side, particularly. The second question, Doctor, that I have here is, there are a number of questions, but I'm choosing this at my discretion. It says, the question is, are the geological data, the geological maps, tenements and licenses available somewhere online? Particularly for
Yes.
Australians who are so far away from the wonderful land of
Sure.
Egypt.
The EMRA, or Geological Survey in Egypt, it's working from 125 years now. A lot of maps, a lot of information available in our site in EMRA in Egypt. We're talking about, we try to build a repository center, as I told you before, about this. All this information will be online or digitalizing, okay? And this will be available for all opportunities in Egypt. As example, last bid round in gold, all data is available. A lot of companies purchase the data from EMRA, and this is easy to make interpretation and evaluate the opportunity. That's easy in Egypt now, and we have a lot of data in Egypt.
Thank you very much. Martin, there are a couple of more questions. Are you okay for us to continue, or shall we wrap it up? We're about 8 minutes off time.
Yes, I will. I can. If it's just a short question, I'm more than happy to help. Otherwise, happy to have those questions answered if they relate to us. It's not a problem.
Okay, I'll ask the speakers one more question each, if that's okay, and
Yep.
we'll wrap up at 5:40.
Yeah, I'm happy to support. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Martin. This question is directed to you, Your Excellency, Saleh. So the question is about the application process. Once minerals are mapped and data is available, how will the application process work?
Well, although the Saudi mining is a relatively young industry, but with the revision of the new mining law, we have revised also the application process. Currently, we are establishing a new digital platform called Ta'din.
Ta'din, yes.
Yes, it will be the single point of access for all applicants to request a plot plan and ask for the titles. We are looking at January 2021 to launch this platform, but it's available now to view all the information that we have published. The applicants' registers is there, the available blocks is there. So through this digital platform, we can serve all the requests for applications.
Thank you very much. And one final question for you, Dr. Ayman. Have you granted any mining licenses under the new mining law?
Yes, it's already now, we're talking about the new law now, very attractive for many companies. I think the new bid round will launch it, or will announce it awarding within 2 weeks from now, maybe. That will be under the new laws, as I told you. That is, we talk about the royalty tax. That's our regime as a financial regime, royalty tax, and also we separate between exploration phase and development phase.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm sure you all have many, many more questions, and those that do, we're going to cut the question time at this point, but please send in through your questions and we will answer all your questions after the webinar. It gives me great pleasure now to conclude today's webinar. On behalf of ACI and Austrade, we'd like to thank particularly our distinguished guests who've made time out of their busy days to tell us about the wonderful opportunities in the MENA region. Particularly thank Your Excellency, Mr. Saleh Al-Aqili, once again, thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. Ayman Al-Murshidi, for your time and insights. Mr. Martin Ferreira, thank you for your presentation, and as always, your ever-present cooperation and assistance through Austrade and our partnership with you at ACI. And my good friend and colleague, particular thanks to you, our in-house geologist, Mr. Peter Grant. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you to everyone, and a special acknowledgement to Barbara, who has organised today's webinar, and Carl, our trusted technology expert. Thank you, Carl. And for all of you out there, I'm sure you have many, many more questions that have arisen as a result of these insightful presentations today. We look forward to connecting with you. Please feel free to reach out. ACI can assist you, so can Austrade, and I'm passionate about Australia being a leading provider in the mining and METS sector, and these are excellent opportunities for a complementary region and a new partnership to be developed in the august countries of Saudi Arabia and Egypt. We look forward to seeing you soon. Ahlan wa sahlan and assalamu alaikum, and we'll see you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Martin, thank you.